In this video, I'd like to talk about the Father in heaven and two attributes he has that we should also strive to have, because we've been commanded by Christ to be perfect like the Father in heaven. And the first thing I want to talk about is that God has no partiality. He doesn't have favorites. He doesn't have personal biases. That's what I mean. And this is closely linked with the second thing about God that's revealed in Scripture about God, that he isn't tempted, and he himself doesn't tempt. Like, these two have to be closely related if you think about it, because usually when we have favorites, it's because we've been tempted. There's just something extra special about this one, and usually it's some kind of an unfair bias. And it usually leaves us feeling kind of bad because we're like discriminating then against somebody else. And we try to compensate for it. This is like how the world tries to address this problem. It just accepts the problem and then tries to deal with the fallout in these incomplete ways. Whereas God, who we should strive to be like, doesn't even have this problem. He's perfect. He doesn't have biases. He has no unfair favorites. I read that in the world, even parents have this. When it comes to their children, they have favorite children. Like, how terrible that has to be for the children who are then discriminated against. Even if the parent is aware of it and they try to compensate it, kids pick up on it. Like, they're forcing themselves to try to be fair or neutral or something. The parents are, that's what I mean. And the kids will notice it, and it will affect them, their relationships, things like this. You have to address the real problem, and that is you have a favorite. So I don't usually cut my videos in half, but this, for some reason, is really difficult for me to get out. I don't know why. Is it, like, I know exactly what I have to say, but I'm trying to come up with ways of saying it that is better and better. I think this is really important. If you are a parent and you have multiple children and you have a favorite child, the way you get away from that sin is by being more like the Father in heaven, who only has the one child, the one who is Christ-like. And that's how you should look at your children. You only have the one child, the one who stands up for the kid that is being bullied, the one who makes his mom happy, the one who is truthful, who listens to the important things you're saying because you care about them. If you have many co-workers, then you really only should have one co-worker, one friend who is compassionate, loving, honest, just, righteous. You should always be looking for Christ in everybody, because we've been made in his image. And that means there's only one, really, that matters. You should only have one of anything. You should only have one wife, the one who is devoted, loyal, who's supportive, who's encouraging, who's wise. You're supposed to be Christ yourself. You're supposed to be this example in your family and outside. This is where children pick up most of these traits anyway, these things that need to be encouraged and nurtured. If you're the kind of parent who has favorites, then what are you teaching your children? We are on a path to perfection, and that happens through Christ. Christ is the only way to the Father, and the Father is perfect.